Hey y'all, sorry, I'm just putting my phone on my mouth. Hopefully it doesn't overheat my phone. Okay, hey y'all. So I'm about to go in the store, but I wanted to just talk about this real quick. School starts next week, so I'm just getting some last minute things. Of course, I watched everything. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a majority of the Cam Newton and Nick Cannon interview. And of course, the first interview, I think personally, Nick Cannon's interview disturbed me more. Not to say neither wasn't like scary, but Mr. Nick Cannon was scary to me. Cam Newton is one of those guys that think they're a good guy, but they're really not. And he needs to figure that out and figure out what he's got going on, because he's got way too many kids to think that to think the way he does. But Nick Cannon, he was acting unusual. Yo, and I'm not even laughing, because none of it is cute. It is not okay for how these men act. But Nick Cannon basically admitted to being a predator. You're a predator. You're a scam artist. You a con artist. You literally sat there and said that you are fully aware of what these women want, and you could pretend to be that and use religion. Use religion in the process of it, of luring these women in, and then turn it off and be toxic. You're a predator. You're a predator, sir. And then he was acting all crazy. It was like he was so in his ego that she kept saying, get in control of your emotions. Get in control of your emotions. She was lightly, get in control of your emotions. Because he was so out of it. He kept saying that he was in control of himself, and he was completely in his ego. Completely. Because once she had said something about, oh yeah, you know, when she referred to something talking about Big D, that's when he was like, well, yeah, yep, that's me, you said it, sir. You're a 40-some-year-old man, and you're sitting around here like, just because somebody says Big D, you're like, yeah, like, who cares at this point? You got 12 kids. And I'm not trying to berate with men or people who have multiple children. I'm not, because I do believe things happen, especially when you're young. Like, you make decisions. There's a lot of reasons why people have multiple kids and multiple, baby mamas and baby daddies. And I don't want to hold that against you. And I always believed, I don't want that to be a sentence for somebody. You are still worthy of being loved and cared for and respected. And I fully believe that. Okay? But when you are a predator, that's a different story. You're a predator. Sorry, it's getting hot up in here. You're a predator. Hold on, y'all. Hopefully it's not too loud. I just had to put down the windows because I was getting hot and I didn't turn my car. But you're a predator. And I've had the blessing, I can say, to have met and been around good men, good fathers, good spouses, right? And not to say that they are perfect, because nobody is, but I have had the benefit of being around good men. And I just wonder, these are men that are always in highly masculine situations, highly masculine environments, right? Cam Newton, he's a football player. He's been an athlete all his life. He's been around coaches. He's been around so many men his whole life, teams, whatever. Nick Cannon, you know what I mean? He's always been an entertainer. So he's been in highly, he's got all this money and blah, blah, blah. He's been in rooms with a lot of men. And that these men, these successful, I want to do that because success, that's a personal thing, right? Determination. These successful men could walk around and believe these things. Now, we can understand that people can sit there and pretend that they believe these things, even though deep down they know that it's all BS. It's bullshit, right? We understand that too. But I just want to say, because I find that sometimes men Hold on. Sorry, somebody just parked right next to me. Anyways, so I find that a lot of men have these not my business types of personalities, even the good ones, right? And especially the good ones, they're probably born thin, right? Because it's not, especially black men, you know, in a community where, you know, we are struggling with our masculines, with our men. Good men are showing up for other people's households, so they're busy. Good men are busy. They're raising other people's kids. They're helping out the single women in their community. They're helping out their sisters. They're helping out, you know, their brothers' kids. They're helping out their friends' kids. They're showing up. And so they're being coaches, right? They're spread thin, and we understand that. But I just want to understand how no one has checked. And this is what I'm saying. It's not for us women to honestly check these men. It's for the men to. Because for you to walk around your whole life and to be around all these all these men, right? And nobody to check you or to even pull you aside while you're making 8, 12 kids and say, hey, bruh, you might want to slow down. You might want to reevaluate, because this is not how you show up in your kid's life and in a woman's life, right? You might need to pull these men aside. Why is it that there's so many people with this mentality, so many men with this mentality? And I think a lot of it is because a lot of men have this "it's not my business" mentality, right? And then you have these men who grow from boys to men, and they're presenting as if they are men when they're not. And so what happens? They become con artists. They become predators, right? And if you look at, like, even just Nick Cannon's, because Nick Cannon was freaking me out with how he was acting. Yeah, like he was acting like a fool up there. He should have been embarrassed. He was over talking her. He was not being professional. He was just doing the most. And that's how you knew that he was in a territory where he was very uncomfortable. As successful as he is, it scared me. And like I said, I want to challenge men who are good men to really check these men. It's not for women to do. And if you want to give back to your community in some way, that's the way you can do it. If you want to protect your young girls, your young daughters, your sisters, your cousins, your mother, start checking men who have these types of mentalities. If you turn a blind eye to these types of things, this is why our community is not going to excel. Are you kidding me? You can use religion to con a woman and then turn it back on her and say, well, she was there for the private jet and da-da-da-da. No, you were conning me. You were scamming me. We grazed over that part. And now you're trying to make it seem like I'm a gold digger because I want a man who can provide. Right? Come on, y'all. This is scary. It's some scary stuff. To be continued.